Welcome to the Redevelopment Authority meeting of January 21st, 2026, which happens to be the first meeting of the new year.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Welcome, guys.
Mr. Chair.
We don't have too much on the agenda today. We have some minutes that we need to approve, and we have the minutes here for what are the dates?
For November 19th.
We have the meeting minutes for November 19th. Wasn't there October?
That's already been signed and approved and submitted.
Okay, that
At the
was the
last
no
meeting.
quorum.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made by Jan and seconded by Sean. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Therefore, we can sign off on those. The next on the agenda is a finance report. Our treasurer was called away on an emergency shortly before the meeting, so he's not in attendance with us this evening. And guests, there are no guests with us this evening. I had sent an email to Jesse Dooley from the band director at Millbury High School, inviting him to attend our meeting this evening. But as of yet, I have had no response from Mr. Dooley. So we'll talk about that a little further down the line. There is no correspondence, and no committee reports, but I'd like to mention that election nomination papers are out. There is a vacancy on the Redevelopment Authority for a member. So if there is anyone out there in the community that is a registered voter and would like to step up and make a presence in the community, we would love to have you. Go to the town clerk and ask for a set of nomination papers for, I believe it's a 5-year term on the Redevelopment Authority, and hopefully we get you on a ballot. Also, I mention each meeting that we have a Resource Advisory Board, which consists of 3 members on that committee. That committee is appointed by the Redevelopment Authority, and we created that committee for members to help us in decision-making, ideas, and how to make things better, how to improve. So if there is anyone out there in the community that would like to become a member, you have an interest in becoming a member of the Resource Advisory Board, we would love to have you come in and talk to us or give us a call. or check with the town clerk and she'll put you in the right direction. And we move on to old business. Minutes of November 19th, so those are done. And we were just talking about the donation to the marching band of the Millbury High School. And we've been going around and around with that. We haven't seemed to get anywhere at this particular point. That's why Mr. Dooley was invited to come in and express any concerns. I know that he is thrilled with the idea of a donation, and Mr. Bedard was absolutely thrilled when I brought it up of the possibility. And I would definitely like to see this accomplished. And do you have any suggestions? This is a discussion. I mean, we could go on and on and on, you know, bouncing it around and not doing anything with it. But if you...
Did the town manager approach anybody at the school committee? Didn't we talk about that the last time?
I haven't had chance to talk to the manager about that.
Okay.
Given how long it's been, I'm wondering if it makes sense to try and have something that we would present when the band is supporting us at the food truck festival. You know, if there's something we could do that we would present to them then.
But we wanted some input from them as to what
I
they
know.
need, you know? You know, do they need $500 worth of stuff? Do they need $1,500, $2,000?
And
You know? I'd like to have
actually-
an idea of what they're gonna do with it.
Actually, what we were discussing in the very beginning was making a donation for a scholarship for a
Yep.
student, okay? That was going to go further in music after they graduate, or with the chorus group. And then it was mentioned that, well, we could split it up into 2 scholarships. One for the music and one for the chorus, you know? And I know that when I mentioned that to Mr. Bedard, he loved the idea. I have talked with Harold, and Harold has mentioned that he would seem to think that the scholarship would be far better than making a donation to the marching band for equipment, reeds, strings, guitars,
Consumables.
drumsticks, or whatever, because that's more of where the charities come into town, whether it be the Lions Club, the Women's Club, or so on, where they make donations to, you know, buy new chairs for the music department, or music books, or whatever. I would like, the idea is to benefit student, you know?
I would think, though, that we need to have a discussion with people at the school department as to giving us a priority of need. Which way do we need to go? Yeah, it'd be easy just to do a scholarship, get it set up, and then every year we give a donation, but what's the true need? You know, do we have a freshman that could be aspiring, but he needs the equipment, you know? Whether it's a tuba or it's the expendables, the stuff that they have to replace every year. So I think we need to have the experts in the field identify to us and prioritize what their needs are.
You can understand that asking that particular question Yeah, they're gonna want this and that, material items, okay? And they forget about the students' education after they leave.
Oh, I
You
get
know.
that, but what I'm saying is, if we're gonna donate one to music, one to the marching band, why not just identify one for a scholarship and one to help them both out? You know, we could actually, kill two birds with one stone.
That's a possibility, providing that
We get
the
the input.
scholarship would be directed to both individual from the marching band or an individual from the chorus,
Yeah, they could both apply and
you know?
it'd be
It
reviewed.
would
and then-
definitely have to be earmarked, because if you just threw the donation check on the table,
Mhm. There's no accountability.
yes, exactly, I like that term. And we would need to earmark it specifically for where it's going to go.
Mhm.
With, like you had mentioned previously on different occasions, documentation
Yeah,
of where it went.
yep,
And at the same point, we would make a presentation at a school board meeting with that scholarship or donation, you know? And then we would have to say, is this going to be an annual
right.
thing?
And
Is it going to be 50/50, or is it going to be a higher amount here and a lower amount there, or whatever?
And who's gonna make the decision? Is it gonna be a joint decision, who it gets awarded to? You know, do we review with them and then come together collectively and make the decision as to who's the most worthy of receiving it? Or is it, we leave that with the music department or someone within the school to make that decision? You know, because I've been on other scholarship advisories and, you know, we would get the applications for it, we would review them, and we would invite them to come, not so much an interview, but a meet and greet, so we have an idea who the funding was going through. And if we had many applicants, we would divvy up the scholarship. So everybody got a little bit of something. Became more competitive that way. Kids were working towards it throughout the year, they had a goal.
Like I mentioned previously that when we had done a scholarship from the Mass Gas Collectors Association, from the Gas Bash, to Blackstone Tech, it was designated, earmarked for a student in auto tech
Yep.
that was going on to college or further their education. And that way, it couldn't be just picked up and say, well, here, you take some here for this, and you take some for that, you know, and go buy spark plugs.
Yeah,
You
well,
know.
like I say, if we have, say, 3 applicants, you know, and they're all worthy of it, and if it happens to be a $1,500 scholarship, we decide, and they're all equal, and divide it up, $500 each, you know?
And each year that we gave that scholarship, we received documentation of who it went to.
Okay, so they made the selection.
Yes, they did.
Okay, 'cause the other one that like I said, the other scholarship that I was involved in, there was a group of us that would review the applications, and, you know, and a lot of it wasn't based on merit, it was more based on need, you know?
Well, that's a possibility too, that, say that we would have to approve who it went to,
Mhm.
you know? They could submit, we could make the choice. We'd be writing the check,
Mhm.
you know? Or it would be a joint
Decision,
discussion and approval,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Which I think that would be the fair way,
yeah.
a joint.
Yeah, because we don't know these particular students. Like I said, when we were the organization I was involved in, we got to meet them. You know, we also got to look at the application. The application had certain questions that had to be answered. And it wasn't check the box, it was write a few sentences or whatever on this, on this, on that. And we would get the stack of them and look at them. And there was also, if I remember right, there was a parent form that the parent had to fill out too, which helped us to address the need side of it.
How about, I'll run something by. How about if I was to set up a meeting between the chair of the school committee, Mr. Bedard, Mr. Dooley, and two of us
Okay?
to discuss this whole thing?
Two or more. It's
You know-
open to any one of our board members that can fit it into their schedule.
And then we can go on to make a decision.
Sure.
What do you think of that?
At least as a starting point, sure. I think as I've been listening to this, I guess my concern is that we're turning a molehill into a mountain. You know, it's just becoming complicated by a whole lot of what ifs and maybe we coulds, and instead of like going like, okay, well, what is something tangible that we can do that doesn't create an extra unnecessary burden of work for all parties, right? So I'm not trying to push anything here. I'm just sort of like, okay, how do we add some value here and then not create a drain in the process? You don't know. So if that's what you guys think makes sense as a way to move forward for now, I will totally support that. But all else being equal, I prefer the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
Sure, no, I get it, but when money's involved, you kind of have to keep track of it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Up to a point.
Yeah,
Up to a point.
there's a certain accountability and, you know, applicants need to take it seriously, you know?
Mhm.
And, because it is a precious gift, you know, that's being, you know, put out there. And I think that when you get multiple applicants, then I think the fair thing is to do the research. You know, if there's only one person applying and, you know, okay,
But we don't have multiple applicants at this point. We don't
Yeah.
have any applicants.
correct, but you know, once it's there, there's gonna be multiple applicants, and how are you gonna decide?
Mhm.
You kinda have to have some forethought going into it, how to decide who gets what. You know, you could do.
And that's a
okay,
nice problem to place to be in, though.
Yeah,
And we're not there yet. You know, and I don't know whether we will ever be there. I mean, maybe eventually, if it goes on for long enough. But I know there are a lot of students that don't know about these opportunities even when they exist.
mhm,
Don't know how to apply for them even if they kind of know they exist. And I don't know, I've gotten the sense that the people that most need it usually are the least socially connected enough to know when and how to do what to get them.
and honestly, that's what the guidance counselor's job. They're responsible for that.
But that doesn't mean
Responsible
that
for
we
that.
can trust that that's just gonna happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, they're great for pushing out the college applications, the SAT, make sure this is done, make sure that's done. Your financial aid package has to be done and handed in by a certain date, okay? Well, at that point in time, they should be able to identify by then the students that are applying to college, where they're gonna go. Okay, here's the scholarships that are applicable to,
Fair
or
enough,
available.
but should is a very special word,
Yep.
you know.
So that's why we need to bring certain people on board from the school.
I would, chances are any meeting with the school department would most likely be a daily meeting,
Sure, it'd be late in the afternoon or
you know?
at a certain time during the day where the teacher may have a free period or a prep period.
I'm available anytime, you know? How about you? You're,
I'm not available anytime, but I can potentially find ways to make myself available, you know. I can flex to a degree.
I know Harold isn't generally available during the day and many nights.
Yeah.
You're,
I'm retired, I'm home most of the
you know,
time. if I'm not on the
you've
road.
had a great deal of experience with school committees,
Mhm.
and especially out in Blackstone, as well as Millbury.
Yeah,
So you might have a lot better thoughts than myself, because I've never been involved with.
I'm only bringing the experience that I had on the scholarship committee for the organization that I would belong to, so.
And a comment was made to me a while back that, you know, that scholarship sounds like a great idea, because the school department is a mega $1 million operation,
Oh, it is.
you know, and we're not,
Nope.
you know, and that anything that fixtures of anything of that nature should come out of the school department's budget.
But there are some line items that are lined out, you know, pushed aside. I know when we do the budget at Blackstone beforehand, the subcommittee and the school committee and meets with department heads and whatnot, and they have to ask, you know, what is vital for the operation? What is vital for the upcoming year? You know, what is your 5-year plan, so on and so forth, so that we know what we can afford to do this year versus next year, and, you know, is it in the picture or is it not? They don't want pie-in-the-sky ideas.
Mm.
So we all know what is consumable and what they use regularly. Are they deficient in it?
So, at this particular point, would you want me to entertain a motion to put that into place, a meeting
Sure,
with the school committee,
yep.
the, Mr. Bedard, not Bernard, and Mr. Dooley,
Yeah, I think we need to seek school committee approval to meet with the department head, the applicable music staff, as well as maybe the principal, and the head of guidance.
okay.
So if we had like a core meeting of those people, then we could have a better footing for our next steps.
Okay, what I could do is I could talk to Mr. Bedard and have him set it up on that end
Mm-hmm.
with whom he feels would be the best to participate in that meeting.
Okay. So you're
Okay.
calling for a motion?
I'll entertain that motion.
Okay. I make a motion that the chairman seek out through the music staff, we'll put it that way, as to set up a time and meeting, and with the proper channels to accomplish this. This task of creating a scholarship for music.
Is that the complete
Yeah.
motion? All right, I'll second that.
Okay, I will do that. And
All in favor?
that's, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Well, at least we got some vote out of that issue. New business. The Food Truck Festival, the ads are out.
I've seen them.
I just posted on the Facebook pages a new ad that
I saw that.
you did. It was amazing because I was talking to Tony Gallo, the computer guy. Here's a couple of posters. You can take those home. And
Very nice.
I said, how did you make the ad for your PC design? He said, AI. I said, yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks like it was done by an ad agency. He said, yeah. He said, ad agencies are getting really upset because people are making their own. He said, sign me into your computer, which I did. So now he's got control of my computer. He went to AI. He put in a little information, and in 32 seconds, that came out.
It's amazing.
I was flabbergasted watching this. He said, and it's so easy.
Now that we're talking about this, I'm gonna change the subject a little bit. Do we need to do any appropriation for the ads in, I don't know, was it the Blackstone Valley Tribune or the Shopper or whatever?
Well, that was another thing, because I had a couple of issues with the ad or the company
From last year?
last year.
Okay.
Because it seems as if you noticed, that paper has gotten very small, okay? Which means that they're not
Circulation.
writing articles. They were going to write an article about our gas bash last season,
Truck
and they
festival.
didn't.
Yep.
And the costs keep escalating, although they charged us the same last year as the year before. I'm wondering if I'm open for suggestions on advertising,
I know-
changing direction.
Okay, because I know years ago, when I had my business and we did a big trade show, RV show, Boston was a grueling 10 days, commuting back and forth to Boston every day, and from, had to be there for 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. We made a decision to skip one particular year. We would advertise locally in different local papers within the state, stating that we wouldn't be there, but we would be having our own open house that weekend. We sold twice as many staying home as we did going. So sometimes less is more.
I posted this poster
Yep,
on 4 Millbury or 5 Millbury Facebook pages. An Auburn Facebook page, and Sutton, okay? I haven't done it on Worcester yet. And within 20 minutes, I was inundated
with likes and,
with people requesting applications for the crap vendors. I was contacted by 2 different bands wanting to know if we would like them. I was contacted by 2 food trucks that we've never had. And I said, wow,
now, as far as getting the word out to our attendees, I have a question. Like this digital image here, can they put that on the digital board in the center of town?
well, I don't know, I can
Like if
ask.
they could put that on just as a pop-up,
I had
you know.
asked,
and if they can, maybe we need to reach out to our other redevelopment authorities and other communities, if they've got a digital board, see if they can do the same thing. Because, yeah, we have, our craft fair vendors come from all over, the trucks come from a lot of different places, but the people that actually come to the fair, you might get them out as far as the Connecticut line, down the Rhode Island line, but it's mostly the Blackstone Valley.
I was wondering about Mass Live.
Mhm.
That's a pay-for type thing,
Yep,
subscription. We've never done it. And I believe that the Woo Trucks, Mark Gallant, he posts his
schedule.
festivals on Mass Live. If someone would like to take charge of the advertising and look into it, I would certainly welcome that.
I would love to volunteer, except for the fact that I know that public relations is a particular weak spot for me, and I would probably do a horrible job. Um,
My situation, as I said before the meeting, that I will not be here for the next meeting. I won't be at any of the meetings in February, so I don't know if that would throw us off as far as delay.
Yeah, we need to rethink the advertising.
Mhm.
The advertising has been good to us,
Yep,
you know, over the years. The other thing that I meant to mention about when I posted that, every year I have posted a copy of our flyer.
right.
And it got response,
Mhm.
but not like that. You know, I was gonna post that. And that's why I called Tony and said, how did you do the ad? And he said, AI. He said, let me show you. I was happy he did,
Yeah.
you
And I
know.
know, like, I travel all over, going to the car shows and cruise nights and distribute these. So, you know, we're getting the people that, and there are usually craft fairs at car shows, and there are also food trucks there.
If you need any more,
Yeah,
let me know.
I will.
I have 2 more boxes that are packed.
Now, my next question, when we had that, I'll call it a hiccup with the advertising, getting the advertising late, or it didn't get in when it needed to get in, did we notice a significant drop in attendees?
After we did the ads,
No, when we had a delay in getting ads up, or we didn't meet the deadline to get them in for previous issues, did we notice a drop?
I think it was kind of stale. It wasn't much of a drop,
Yeah, okay,
but it was.
okay, that's all, I'm just wondering if our advertising is paying for itself, you know?
The Facebook advertising did well. Now, this I will post on vendor site,
Mhm.
and I eventually, down the road, I would always post this on all the different community
Bulletin boards.
public media pages.
Mhm.
You know, all the way down into, just over the line in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
You know, over the line in Connecticut,
Winnabow, sure.
up into, beyond Fitchburg,
Mhm.
Winchton,
Yep,
out towards, the brook, on the other side of the Brookfields. And we'd get all kinds of response, people saying, I'm going.
because I mean, whether I was going to a car show down in North Smithfield, Rhode Island, or going on a cruise night down in Bellingham, or, you know, something up in Fitchburg Garden or Athol, I would hand out the flyers.
And
So-
we have generated
the
food
peop-
trucks coming
Yeah.
from the other side of Boston,
Mhm.
Dorchester, Rhode Island, Framingham, up in Billerica. Trying to think, up on the other side, up by Springfield, We've had a couple of food
Yeah,
trucks
that's the thing.
every year.
Like I said, when I drop these in cars, these people are coming from all over.
I do
You know?
the same thing with motorcycle shops,
Sure.
you know? And, you know, I make the tour of Route 20 and the Harley shop and all the other motorcycle shops over there.
So what I'm saying is, we need to revisit the advertising. Do we need as expanse of advertising?
I would think so.
We need to expand it?
We
Okay.
need to pinpoint something
Okay.
major,
Okay,
not TV,
no,
you know? A festival the size of ours would not be able to afford TV,
no,
you know?
or even possibly radio. Radio is expensive too.
I'd like to try Mass Live, or find out about Mass Live, and see how that might benefit us, you know? But,
Well, if you can get me the contact information for Mass Live, I can do some research.
okay, I'll see what I can do.
Okay,
Now,
all right.
okay, the Food Truck Festival, applications are coming in quite rapidly now. And we do have a need to make another purchase for the event. And as you know, that we had some wind at the last festival.
So we need some more
And
weights.
a couple of canopies became kites,
Yeah,
you know. So on our application for craft vendors, who most of them have canopies, I said that it's mandatory that they have at least 25-pound weights on each leg to protect themselves and vendors.
participants.
Yeah, attendees.
And that's on the application?
That is on their, yeah, it's on the application. And most of the vendors have the weights, okay? There's a few that never have done an outside event, and they bring their pop-up from home that they use at 4th of July, and they set up with sort of a yard sale type crap. And the next thing you know, they're chasing their canopy. And
Well, as long as it's on the paperwork.
so we have 4 canopies, and I've checked around on weights for those canopies. And there are bags that hold sand. There are flexible bags that hold water, both of which you have to drain. You can't leave and sand in a bag draws moisture from the air. So eventually it's going to become moldy, and you got to clean it out, and where do you clean it?
And what about the plastic discs that's set up around
Here
the
is-
legs?
I've checked, and this seems to be the most practical, and vendors are using those. And if you see on it, it has a handle halfway that you can pick it up and grab it and stack it.
Okay, but where are they getting, is there water in them?
No.
Okay,
You can put water in them, and I think if you look on this other sheet, it will tell you the weight with water, the weight with sand, the weight with pebbles. And the pebbles seem to be the highest weight, which is around 26 pounds, 28 pounds. And you don't have to empty it.
and is this something that you're thinking we should buy for us?
Yes.
On ours?
Now, we would need 4 sets of those. They strap on with Velcro, and they hold the leg.
I honestly think it's another big thing that we need to haul. What's wrong with the disc weights that you stack up on them?
Well, we could hire someone to haul them for us, but it's essential. We've chased our canopies,
Oh, I know, we've used rocks on them.
we have spent time holding on to the canopy for hours, because we knew it was gonna lift
But what I'm saying
as soon
is-
as we let go.
What about the ones that, they look like a weight you put on a dumbbell for exercising with a slot? It goes right over the leg and you stack them up.
We
on-
have a couple of sets of those,
Yeah,
and they are useless.
Okay.
Useless, why? Because in some cases,
we never had enough.
they only weigh about 6 pounds, okay? So in order to have 25 pounds on there, how many do you have to have on each leg,
Yeah,
okay? We would need a heavy-duty pickup truck to haul the weights for 4 canopies. I've seen some canopies that would elevate a bit because they didn't have enough weights on them, and those would slide off. Now the canopy is a kite again, okay? They are not that practical, And with other vendor sites, I should say with other craft fair sites, they are looking to do the latch-on type of container weight,
okay.
And I know a vendor that, well, she sets up at our event, Queenie Care. She had canvas bags that you would fill with sand. Any animals that came by
Yep.
would decide that, gee, they smell nice, so they were gonna water them. You can't get the smell out, So she invested in a set of these, and they have worked perfectly for her. They're easily cleaned, they stay clean, and they don't get moldy, like sandbags and water bags and stuff of that nature.
I would recommend that we study this a little bit more, and maybe when Harold comes in, we can take a closer look at it.
I spoke to Harold about those, and he
Yep.
said he knows about those,
Mhm.
and that they are a good
Yeah,
product.
but I would rather have us have a full board make a decision on that.
Just out of curiosity, is this?
I mean,
this
they're
is
coming from
80
Amazon.
$88, is that for, like, one
That's
for
for-
each leg? That's a whole set of 4?
That's for 4.
Okay.
There's not too much discussion to go over with them. You've got that. Like I said, I've spoken to vendors with canopies.
I get it, Len, but who's gonna fill them? Who's gonna haul them? Who's gonna truck them?
Well, it's part of our entourage, so we have to haul them. And if it comes to a point where we have to borrow a truck, I don't have a truck. I know you have a truck, but it's small.
No, I mean, the weight here is a
And we-
non-issue. That's.
No, I'm saying filling them the water on site.
Okay.
You fill these with the pebbles, off-site, and they stay filled.
Yeah, but then you gotta pick them up and carry them.
That's right. You drop them off at the side of the canopy, so you're not carrying them far. You know,
You know.
And I'm sure that we can get a good-sized truck to haul all this stuff. I'm sure that there's a possibility that we could get a Sprinter occasionally, once a year.
So is your objective, or your objection, is it just about the transport, or is it about
My
the
objection
cost?
is, my
or is it
objection is about the whole thing and what it's gonna take to make the logistics to make this happen, so that everybody on this board needs to be aware. Okay, now, we're gonna spend this much money for these, but now we're gonna have to rent a Sprinter truck for the day. Okay, now we're gonna spend more money for this, and we're gonna spend more money for this. This is just the containers.
Nobody said anything about renting a truck.
Well, eventually that may happen. We keep spending more money on this festival, we make less money. I understand the liability side of it. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. I want a little bit of time to think about it. You know, this just.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like it's so time critical that you don't
Right,
you don't have
exactly.
time to
This
think about
stuff, if they're on Amazon, you
Yep.
probably have them within a week.
it. Yep.
That's true. So
You
why
know-
don't you take your time and you think about it, and you can discuss it with anybody, you know, any vendor that you might know. And,
So just to be clear, I
Talk-
wasn't trying to pressure you into
Yeah.
into a particular answer. I was just trying to like get a clear understanding of what the list of concerns were.
Yeah.
Right? You know, just sort of a problem solving, you know,
Mhm.
like what exactly are the concerns? Do we have answers for them or not?
My concern is we keep adding more and more equipment
Mhm.
for this festival to take place.
Okay.
We need more and more volunteers to make it happen.
Yep.
And we're getting less and less.
Yep.
We
Okay.
have empty seats on the board.
if you want to succeed, you want to survive, you're going to have to do something like this.
Yeah, but
Because
we
it's
also
so-
need help, Lenny.
That's true. And hopefully, eventually, we will come up with additional help. Now, as far as every event that we have ever had, we have never had a lag in help that day, in setting up, in breaking down, and transporting the equipment, okay? Transport of our equipment is minimal, it's nothing, because we can get that transported. We could even borrow a truck from the DPW if we had to.
Okay,
You know.
I'm just saying, we need to look at the total logistics of all of this.
So,
Yep.
and this is a safety factor.
Oh, I understand it, and that's why I'm saying, what are our other options?
Our other options, let's see. We speak to the weatherman and have him guarantee that there's no wind.
Len, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what are our other options? We get more regular weights and put them on it. Like you said, it might take 5 weights on each corner. That's an easier box maybe to move around. I don't know. I want a little time to think about it and research it. You just dropped this on us tonight. Last year, we had the weight problem. We understand there's a weight problem. But you just
Exactly.
dropped this on tonight. I don't want to decide on it tonight.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. So you take the time, like I mentioned a minute ago, you discuss it, you check around, you look into it, but forget the matter of the transportation of the items. And as long as we have a festival, there'll be something that we'll need down the road, you know? And that's how we built the festival to what it is today,
I get it.
you know? So we'll postpone that until our next meeting in February, and we'll go from there. Now, one other thing, where we had an issue with our last meeting in November, we lost the audio for the last half of the meeting, which we made motions, they were passed, and the audio was gone. Hopefully that Sean was able to recover some of those, because he did make some
I had
notes.
some notes, but yeah, no. So it's entirely possible though that I did not get everything though. So if over the next couple of meetings we're like, didn't we agree on this, and we can't find it in the records, that might be why.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the motions were towards the end that we lost.
Yep.
I'll have to go over the agenda and see if there's on there, and we'll see if we can retrieve some of those. So the point being, where we lost the audio, I would suggest that we purchase a sound recorder, a voice recorder,
Yep.
for the secretary, the clerk. That way, if we again lose audio, we still have a record of everything.
Yeah, you had asked me to look into something, and you know, so I pulled up something on Amazon I didn't do an extensive search, I just went, oh, look, that looks like it might fit,
Okay.
and it's not that
I
expensive.
had looked on there briefly, and I saw that there were a multitude of voice recorders ranging from about $19,
To like
to
a couple
$300.
$100, yeah,
you know? So
As long as it does the job,
yeah.
you know, we don't need anything elaborate.
I would make a motion, I would entertain a motion to purchase a voice recorder with a value of up to, I'm gonna leave this, say, up to $300. Only because Sean will make the choice,
Yep,
because he's gonna have to deal with it, okay?
that's fine.
And whatever the cost will be, it'll be no more than $300. I'm sure that most likely it won't even be there, that price.
Yep.
But like you have brought up many times, you want a cutoff,
So what?
a cutoff, up
Yeah,
to a
up
certain
to,
value.
yeah, that works.
You know, so I would make a motion to purchase a voice recorder up to $300.
You're making that motion? Or
I
you're
did.
entertaining that
I
motion?
entertain that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Motion's been made by Jan Hanratty
I'll second that motion.
and second by Sean Cooper. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So approved. I will mention that to Harold, and he will go about purchasing that recorder.
With
After-
Sean's input,
Yes,
Okay.
after you decide on what it is.
you identify what your needs are.
You decide on it, where it comes from, we'll notify Harold, and Harold will make the purchase.
All right, well, the one that I was proposing is $39, it's well within that limit, so. we could
You
just
believe that's
forward
gonna work
this-
for you? Because you're the one that's
Yeah.
doing all this paperwork, so.
Oh, yeah,
It,
Um,
I had found once a digital recorder,
Mhm.
and when you put it on the table, it recorded the vibration at the table. You know, and I said, this is no good.
yeah. Well,
So-
unfortunately, it's sometimes, it might be hard to gauge some of that stuff until you actually buy something, though.
You might even be able to check with Kevin.
See if he has a recommendation.
He might have a thought on,
Fair enough. So before I forward this on to Harold, I will check with Kevin and see if he has a recommendation.
okay, that's so approved. Okay, anything else? Well, wait a minute, let me just double check here. Okay. No, I have nothing else.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, before we do that, the next meeting will be February 18th, 2026.
All right,
Second my motion.
sure, I will second your
Motion's-
motion to adjourn.
You made the motion?
Yep,
Motion's been seconded?
Yes.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
So approved.